What's up YouTube? Georgia Silver Hunter back, and today we're going to do something we haven't done in a long time, and that is hunt a full box of dollar coins from the bank. Now, I've been asking my bank to order these for several weeks now, and they haven't been able to get them, and they came in about a week ago, and I was finally able to pick them up. I'm excited to get into them. I went ahead and opened them at the bank because, believe it or not, my teller did not know that they used to make these small dollars, as Susan B. Anthony's in this clad color rather than the new golden color. She thought all dollar coins were gold. So I opened it up just to educate a little bit. But as you can see, we got a good mix of coins. Nothing too shiny or cool looking on top, at least not at first glance. But I am excited to get into these bad boys. So I tell you what, without further ado, let's get this box pushed back and let's get into them. So really quickly, a couple of things before we get started. I do have a document in the description down below that this is just a page out of it, and this has all the things that I look for when hunting small dollar coins. The main things we're really looking for are our 1979 Philadelphia wide rim. That 81 is pretty low mintage, and of course we're really looking out for a lot of these 2000p varieties, the Wounded Eagle, the Goodacre presentation, and the Cheerios enhanced tail feathers. And if we happen to get lucky and find one of those, we'll talk about it when we find it. I have been hunting dollars for some time now and never come across one, but they can be worth a pretty penny. Most of these Sacagawea dollars are technically NIFCs, especially from 2002 to 2008 and anything 2012 to current. So there's a couple of varieties in here. I don't necessarily look for all of these, but these are things that you could look for. Again, that document is listed in the description down below. And part of what makes hunting these dollars fun is trying to complete albums. I've done the Eisenhauer and Susan B. Anthony. It is completely full. Our 2000 to 2004, we've got 8 of 10 slots full. We're just keeping an eye out for this 2003 and 2004 D. The 2008, also pretty full. Just a few we need to fill them in. Now, the Native American dollar starting in 2009, we've got 17 of 32 spots filled. Varying degrees of condition because these things are all NIFCs and they're pretty tough to find. Except in 2009, 10, and 11, they seem to be kind of really good condition. And this 2022, I found kind of a blinger some time ago. Now, the original challenge for me to start this video came from Shakaran. He actually sent me these two albums, the Presidential Dollars Volume 1 and Volume 2, and he challenged me to fill them all in with AU, BU specimens, which I have done for Volume 1, all from box hunts. Volume 2, we still have a good way to go. We've got about 21 of 40 spots filled. And you'll see there's a few that aren't AU, BU, but I just wanted to go ahead and fill the spots as I found them. So we'll definitely keep an eye out for those. And I did recently purchase the new American Innovation dollars from 2018 to 23 and 24 to 29. And you can see we got a lot of work to do there. So excited to get these books filled out. And throughout this video, I will be using this little device from CoinView, or it's called CoinView. And during the video, I'll bring you in. I'll show you what this is all about. And by watching this video and using a discount code that I will publish, you can actually get 10% off a pair of these that can help you inspect your coins and make sure you keep them safe while sliding them around on your microscope. So we'll cover that a little bit later in the video. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and open one roll on camera. Now, dollar coins are not the most interesting thing for me to show you hunting, simply because so many of the rolls kind of look like this. They're all kind of dirty. Typically in any one roll, you're going to find a couple of blingers. Like right here, we've got ourselves a Rutherford B. Hayes, and that edge lettering is really hard to read. And that's where this CoinView is going to come in, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. And let's just check this other one. We got a little bit of a blinger here. Let's see, we've got a Martin Van Buren and one here. Not too great, but it's a James Monroe. So typically when I hunt these things, that's the first thing I do. I go through looking for the blingy ones. Then we search through the rest to see if it's anything I need for my book or anything interesting, which typically it's not. So dollar boxes can go pretty fast. So I'm going to go ahead and go off camera, get through a few rolls. If nothing looks good, we'll come back and I'll show you how these CoinView things work and how I'm using them to assist in my hunts. So we just got into roll number 2 when we found our first dollar coin of interest. It is a Ronald Reagan right here. He is actually from 2016, so an NIFC. If we've got the Denver, it's 5.88 million. If we've got the Philadelphia, it's 7.14. I don't think we've got a San Francisco proof, but the only way to know is to look at that edge lettering, which you can see can be a little problematic. You've got to hold it in your hand. I typically do this with my camera when I'm doing this for you, but this is where that little coin view device gets really interesting. As you can see here, it has slots for individual coins, so I'm going to drop it in here. So if you wanted to slide this around on your microscope without damaging the coin, it's got a nice little felt edge and it protects your coin, and it has slots for every major denomination of US currency. Then we've got a 30-degree display, a 60-degree display, and a 90-degree display. And this thing is really wonderful for putting under your microscope and just rotating, so you're not having to really hold it in your hand. And like I said, with my microscope, I can get in there really close. But there's our date, 2016 Philadelphia. So we are at 7.14 million. I do think this thing is really, really neat. Let me grab some other coins over here. I'll grab a dime just to show you guys it does have a, perfect slot down there on the bottom for the dime. It fits the half dollar, the quarter, and everything else. Now, I'm going to use these throughout the video. The creator of these reached out to me. He actually sent me this pair for free. It's $17.95 for a pair, but if you use the code GASilver at his website, you can get 10% off. I will link to that in the description down below and throw it up on the screen as well. That is for your US coinage, and this is for your larger bullion. So this will work for Morgan dollars, it'll work for peace dollars, 1 ounce coins, so on and so forth. So you have one for your large currency and one for your smaller everyday currency. So these things are pretty neat. I do like them. I do use them from time to time, and I've been waiting to show these things off until I got a box of dollars, because I do think this is just really nice when I can get them under the microscope and set it at a certain height and just put these in and rotate it. So it's really pretty neat. I do think it's a cool idea, and I'd appreciate it if you guys would go check it out. I don't make any commission or anything like that. I'm just trying to help out a fellow entrepreneur and coin collector. So check that out if you could. So we just broke into roll number 3. We were actually just 1 coin in. We got a really kind of blingy George Washington, but there's a lot of blingy George Washingtons out there. And we've come across our first innovation dollar. You can tell from the reverse it's not a Sacagawea, and we don't have a president's head on it, so let's check it out. We've got ourselves a Rhode Island, which I believe is the 2022. Let's see here. There's the E Pluribus Unum. And there is the date. Let's put it under the scope here. Now, I broke out my old digital pluggable scope. People ask me all the time what scope I use. I typically use a higher end scope here. My IPQP Q, I think is right. But I still break out the digital pluggable every now and then, and this is a perfect reason to do it. And there's our 2022 Philadelphia. Same roll, just a handful of coins later. We have our next kind of NIFC that's interesting. It's our Volume 2 book. We've got ourselves a Franklin Delano Roosevelt dollar. And again, I believe this guy is like a 2016 or a 2017, something like that. Let's see if I can find that year. No, I was way off. 2014 Denver. Not sure if that's going to end up in the book. It might be an upgrade. We'll see at the end. And I've got my red book pulled out here. 2014 Denver FDR, 3.92 million produced. So we're into roll, what is it, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Roll 9, got towards the very end here, and we've got another innovation dollar. This one came up reverse facing. Elizabeth, I don't know how to say that, Peratrovich. I don't think I have this one. Anti-discrimination law of 1945. There we go with Sacagawea on the front. Let me pull up, I got my red book here. I've got the innovation dollars pulled up already. Let's see here. All right, Elizabeth Peratrovich, however you say that. 2020. Philadelphia, we've got what? 2020. There it is right there. If it's a Philly, it's only 1.26 million. Actually, if it's the Denver, it's also 1.26 million. So super, super low mintage on this one. So we're up on roll number 12, and I'm bringing you in for another Franklin Delano Roosevelt. We came across here towards the tail end of the roll. Now, I've already checked it out just to save time. This time, we have found ourselves a Philly. You can see the P mint mark right there. It's upside down. Where'd it go? There it is. This one is a Philly. The one we found previously is a Denver, so we actually got the whole FDR set in this hunt. Neither one are terribly nice, but we'll take them. I didn't bring you in. Along the way, we did find a really nice Grover Cleveland. This is a 2012. I can't remember. I think it was a Philly. It doesn't really matter, but I don't think it's going to be an upgrade for the book, but because it's in volume 2 and it was pretty decent, I figured I'd put it up here just to double check at the end of the video. Roll number 13, our next find, I actually don't have it here. I've got it in my little coin view holder here so we can see it under our pluggable digital scope. You can see right here we've got ourselves a 2015 Denver. And the reason I pulled it, it is a Volume 2 presidential album, all NIFCs, and kind of a tough one to come by in circulation. We've got ourselves a Harry Truman. So we're into roll number 14, and we came across our next find. Now, I've already looked at it, so I know what it is. I was pretty sure we had a proof on our hands, but I wanted to check the front just to make sure. But you can see how the light's reflecting in this. It is a mirrored background. We've got a little bit of frosted finish, and when you flip it over, you see the frosted George Washington head, and again, that mirror background. So much so you can actually see fingerprints in it. And we know that we've got ourselves a San Francisco proof George Washington quarter. Now, this would be a quarter dollar. Now, we know that this is going to be a 2007 because it was the first year of issue. And there's our 2007, and that S is really tough to make out, but it's right there in the middle of the screen. So there you have it. So we just got into roll number 16, and as I told you in the beginning of the video, when I open these things up, I like to see these super shiny big edge coins. Those are usually the first ones I check because they could be something really interesting. Where did it go? This paper's killing me. And when we take a look, we've got something that I don't think we have in the book. This is a Georgia, what is that, Trustees Garden? I have no idea what year this would be. This is a 2019 Philadelphia in really, really good shape. So we're going to put this aside for sure. It is one of the innovation dollars. You can see it on the front. That is absolutely gorgeous. And that is most likely going to be a book filler. So same roll that had our innovation dollar, the very last coin, ended up being a Lyndon B. Johnson. And I had the year here a second ago. There it is. It's upside down. We've got ourselves a 2015 P, I think. 2015 Philadelphia. So another Volume 2 presidential coin to throw up here on the board and see if it's going to fill the book. So roll number 17, we've got our next find. This time we've got Teddy Roosevelt. There he is, Mr. Theodore Roosevelt. Let's see here. I looked up the year a second ago, and I always struggle. 2013 Philadelphia. Not as nice as some of the other ones we found, but it's another Roosevelt. It's another Volume 2 NIFC for the board. Very next roll, we've got our next NIFC from the Volume 2 book. We've got ourselves a William McKinley. Let's take a look at the year and the mint mark. I believe it's like a 2015. Nope, I was wrong again. I suck at these presidential dollars if you haven't noticed. 2013 Denver. We're into roll number 19, and we have come across our first 1979 Philly wide rim of the hunt. Now, I typically find kind of like one or two of these per box. It is a variety. It is worth more than a regular 1979 Philly. But a lot of books claim to say this is really rare, but I find a lot of these, and rarely do I find them in fantastic condition. So that's going to really hurt their values. I did have another 1979 Philly that I pulled from my discards, and you can see the wide rim difference here. So the rim here, there's a good amount of space between the 1 and the 9. And when we look at the wide rim version, you can see that rim is just about touching the 1 and the 9. And I don't know if it'll be helpful, but I'll put them side by side so you can see the difference. I will get into the value of these and maybe try to do some eBay comps at the end of the video. So we got to the tail end of roll number 20, and this popped up. Now, I've already seen the reverse. We know this is going to be a Native American dollar just because we have Sacagawea on the front. But when I flipped it over, we've got ourselves a United States of America World War I, World War II Code Talkers Native American coin. And the year on this one is 2016 Philadelphia. So we're well into roll number 29, actually 6 from the end, and we've come across our next NIFC. We've got a Warren G. Harding, and this one is a 2014 Philly. That was upside down, but I could still read it. I'm pretty sure this is going to either be a book filler or an upgrade, because this is a pretty darn good-looking presidential dollar. About halfway through roll number 31, and we've already found one of these, but I wanted to point it out because now we have found two. So another Native American dollar, I think it was a 2019, there it is, 2019 Philly, so exact same year as the last one we found, but no, I've got two of them. We're into roll number 28, and you hate it when this happens, but when you find a coin like the 2008 Philly, for me, it's wonderful because it's going to be a book filler, but you kind of hate it because it's in such bad condition. But I guess it will fill a hole for now. So we just got into roll number 31. It's the third or fourth coin in here, and it's our next Presidential Volume 2 NIFC. We've got ourselves a William Howard Taft 2013 Philly. Well, same roll. Actually, just like two coins later, we've come across another Presidential Volume 2 NIFC. This time, the Richard M. Nixon in pretty darn good shape. Let's see if we got the Philly or the Denver. It's upside down again. We've got a 2016 Philly. So we're up here on roll number 35, and we've come across our next Volume 2 Presidential Dollar NIFC. We've got ourselves a Benjamin Harrison, and I did check my book already to see if I needed the Philly or the Denver, and I actually needed the Philly, and unfortunately, this one is a Denver, but it's still an NIFC find. We're going to put it on the board and hang on to it for the wrap-up. So I went ahead and got rid of the box and pulled the last 5 rolls out, and I don't spend a lot of time looking at enders other than to see, do I have a good mix of sort of the Sacagawea dollars and presidential dollars versus our old Susan B. Anthony's. And as I was pulling these out, I noticed roll number 39, we've got ourselves an innovation dollar. It's actually the 2018 American Innovators dollar. I don't know if I've found that one before. I have not looked in the book to verify it, but there is the design in the Red Book, 2018 American Innovators, and it's pretty low mintage here. The Philly's only 502,000, the Denver's 582, and you can see an uncirculated condition worth upwards of $8. And unfortunately, that one's well circulated, but still pretty cool, and I look forward to getting it out of the roll. So let's go ahead and get into these last 5. Well, I didn't think I'd bring you in this fast, but the very first roll we got, it actually came the other way. It was the ender, so I saw the obverse when I unrolled it, and I didn't have a year, so we knew it was going to be something, a Native American dollar, and we've got another one of the World War II, 1 and 2 Code Talker dollar coins here. Let's see if we've got a year and a mint mark that we can find quickly. It's this way. 2015 Philly. So we're down to these last 2 rolls. I did want to get the one roll open that has the American Innovators dollar on the ender, just so we could check the date together. Since you're mounted up there, I don't know how I'm going to show you the edge, but I'll check it out and let you know here. So it's right here on the end. That's one. Let's check these other kind of shinies. We see any proofs in there? Nothing else is popping out as being too interesting. We got a Native American dollar. Now I've found a whole bunch of these. These are really, really common in boxes. Not seeing anything else though, but this is going to be that 2018 American Innovators dollar, and it looks like it is a 2018 Philadelphia. I don't know if you can see that or if that's focusing, but that's what it is. So we're going to drop it up here with the rest of our innovation dollars and keep on with the hunt. So there's everything we pulled out of that $1,000 box, and we had a whole bunch. There's about $75 here on the table, and we're going to go through it all really quickly and then I'm going to take you over to the books and we'll see what ends up being a book filler or a book upgrade. The original challenge from Shakerin was to do AU, BU coins only, but for the President's Volume 2 and the Innovation Dollars, if it's a book filler, we're going to go ahead and plug it in and look for upgrades later. Starting over here, we had anything that was potentially an upgrade to our Susan B. Anthony book or our President's Volume 1 book. As you can see, we got a ton of blingin' Rutherford B. Hayes, Philadelphia coins. I went ahead and pulled every single one of those just because they seem to be the most. Anything else, I tried to just pull one or two, and I did have some coins like the George Washington where I got tons and tons of BU coins, but I know I have really nice ones in my books already. So most of these will likely end up going back to the bank, but I did want to pull them just to check. Other book upgrades for sure, or book fillers for sure, sorry, is this 2003 Philly, the 2005 Philly. I don't have a proof book, but this is also just a cool find, a George Washington San Francisco proof, not supposed to be in circulation. And we did come across two 1979 Philly wide rims. I only brought you in for one, but on eBay, these things are going for anywhere from $7, $8, all the way up to like $20+. So I'll throw a few comps up on the screen on eBay. Obviously, condition matters. I'm not looking to sell these, but one day I might. It's just good to know they are holding some value. So moving on, we're going to go ahead and get into the President's Volume 2, and I'll throw mintages up on the screen just to move this along a little more quickly, but we got a couple of 2012 Denver Cleveland Variety 2s and a Philadelphia Cleveland Variety 2. And that's just because Cleveland was president, 2 terms separated by a president, so he actually has 2 different coins. We did get a 2012 Denver Benjamin Harrison, a 2013 Denver McKinley, a couple of Theodore Roosevelt's Philadelphia 2013s. We had a 2013 Philly Taft, 2014 Philly Harding. We had 2014s, let's see here, 2014 Philly and Denver Franklin Roosevelt, which is pretty cool. Super low mintages on those guys. Moving on here, we had a couple of Trumans, Philly and Denver, so we got the set. We did get one 2015 Lyndon B. Johnson from Philadelphia, and the Nixon and the Reagan, both 2016s from Philadelphia. So we got a lot of the Volume 2 presidents, and I'm hoping we fill some holes. None of them are in fantastic shape, but like I said, we're going to plug up holes if we have them. Moving down here to our Native American dollars and our innovation dollars, we'll do the Native American first. We did come across 2 of the Code Talkers. This is the 2016 Philly, super low mintage, 2.1 or 2.8 million on those. The Peretrovich, I can't ever say it. It's the anti-discrimination coin from 2020 Denver, 1.26 million. And we got a couple of Philadelphia 2019s, American Indians in Space. Both of those are super nice. As for our innovation dollars, all these things are pretty good. I'm pretty sure I have the Rhode Island, but we got the 2018 Philly. He's actually down here, the American Innovators. Only 502,000 of those minted, give or take. The Rhode Island had about 453,000 minted, and then the Georgia, I think that is also going to be a book filler. 2019 Philly, only 474,000. I'm rounding a little bit here, but super low mintage on these American Innovation dollars, hence the NIFC status. So with that, we're going to go ahead and move over to the books. I'm going to show you what we're plugging in and upgrading, and we'll do the wrap up. So we're going to try to get through these books as quickly as we can. Everything you see right here is stuff that's not going to go into a book. We've got a bunch of President Volume 2s, and we've got some innovation and Native American dollars. So if you're interested in purchasing any of these, a few of you have reached out to me and said you're trying to do dollar books as well and can't find some of these. None of them are in fantastic shape. Actually, a couple of them are in decent shape, but go ahead, shoot me an email, gasilverhunter@gmail.com. I'll hang on to these for a few days to a week, but it is tying up about $12 or $15 here that I'd like to get back to the bank if no one else wants them. So very quickly, I'm going to go through these books and we're just going to punch stuff down. I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking. So for the Presidential Volume 1 book, we did have 2 upgrades. I'm not going to punch them in. I just want to show you really quickly. Hopefully this is up high enough. The Philly Van Buren that I found was an upgrade. And I did find a Philly Ulysses S. Grant that would be an upgrade for this, but hopefully you got all this on camera at some point here. But all of my Volume 1 coins look really good, and so they have to be a pretty decent upgrade to count there. I'm just going to push those out of the way because they're upgrades, and they'll take a little bit of time. Going back here, we do have our 2005-2008 book. We are going to punch down one coin. It is an ugly one, but it is a hole filler, and it is the 2008 Philly. You can see we're still missing 2 spots in that book. Our Native American dollar book, 2009 starting. We do have some upgrades here. So starting with the Code Talkers, we had a 2016 Philly, so that's going to go in right here. Moving on to the next page, we had 2 other coins we're going to get to punch down here. We had the American Indians in Space Philly. You can see we found the Denver before. So the Philly is spoken for, and then we had the Peratrovich. I finally figured out how to say that. It was the 2020D going in right there. So that book's coming along. So the American Innovators dollar, we got lots of space to fill in here, but you'll see we have, this is the American Innovators Philly, which we're going to go ahead and punch in right there. Again, definitely could use an upgrade, but it's a hole filler for now. And we have the Georgia 2019 Philly Trustees Garden. That one is a blinger, not likely to ever get upgraded there. So that is all of our upgrades for the American Innovation book. The rest are going to all be just punch downs for our Volume 2 presidential album. So I'm going to try to do this quickly, and here's our book. And if it's an upgrade, I am just going to save it for later. But we've got our Grover Cleveland. I think that's just an upgrade, so we'll set that aside. Our Warren G. Harding. Yep, it's our Warren G. Harding. He's a 2014 Philly. You can see we've got a hole right here to fill. What did we have next? We had our Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Where did he go? Franklin Roosevelt. He's a 2014 D. Or sorry, we have the P going in, so that's a hole filler right there. We had our Harry Truman. I think this is our Philly Truman. Let me just check my notes over here. Yep, we had a Philly Truman going in right there. And last but not least, we have ourselves a Lyndon B. Johnson, and this too is a Philly. So punching that in right there. So our Volume 2 book is coming along. We do have a lot of upgrades to be found, but we really aren't missing that too many spots. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 left of our Volume 2 book. So pretty cool. With that, we are going to call it a video. Apologies, it's a bit long. The dollar coins are a ton of fun. There's just a lot to look for. There's a lot of interesting stuff around NIFCs. You know, there's Native American dollars, Sacagawea dollars, presidential dollars, and there's so many albums to fill that it just takes some time. But I have a blast doing these videos. I hope you guys enjoy the dollar videos. If you do, let me know. Drop one down below. Click on that like button and leave me a comment. Let me know what you like, what you dislike. If the video is too long, I mean, I tried to show you guys as much as I could, so it does end up on the long side. Plus, I just like to talk. And if you are new to coin roll hunting and you like coin videos like this, if you like silver hunting, if you like looking for numismatic value, if you like filling out coin collections, you're going to love this channel. Make sure you do drop on down below. Click that subscribe button, then click on that little bell and select all so you get notified each and every time I do release a new video. And thank you if you are clicking that subscribe button for the first time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Special shout out to all my channel members. You guys supporting the channel each and every month makes all the difference, so thank you much. You guys also get to see these videos before everybody else, which is one of the main perks. So if you're interested in memberships, scroll on down below this video, click on the join button, and you'll find out more. With that said, I've got a box of quarters to hunt. They're mostly customer wrapped, and I've got a box of pennies I've been sitting on for about 2 weeks now that I got to get to, so hopefully we'll get some more content out this week. And I hope you guys are doing well. Summer is in full steam here. It's getting really hot in Georgia, and you kind of want to stay indoors because it's so hot. So lots of coin roll hunting going on. With that, I hope you guys, again, doing well. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.